guys from today analyzing. Looks like a political cartoon.
Gotta love political cartoons.
Very interesting and colorful one.
All visual, not a lot of words.
Sourcing coming out of Judge magazine.
Yep.
Right.
Very popular in the mid to late 1800s.
It's kind of like was it like a satire one, similar to Puck magazine?
Satirical.
Yeah.
It was like almost like a rival of Harper's Weekly.
Okay.
So let's just start with like some observations.
So now we have the public is actually this is for everybody to see. So
Yes.
yeah, start with some observations. Go ahead.
All right. So my eye gets drawn to the big fat guy.
Yeah.
You know, big fat guy smoking a stogie. He's got a cane. He's got bags
Profits.
full of money.
Full of money.
Bags full of money.
And of course, the top hat also indicating wealth, which
Yeah.
is getting to the late 1800s, early 1900s.
You know, in size in political cartoons is used to reference many different things.
There's this girth right there.
Yeah, you know, size can represent wealth.
Yep.
Size can represent power. But given the fact that this guy is he's not built like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Right.
He's more built like Danny
Danny
DeVito. Built more like Danny DeVito.
He looks like more the penguin. Yeah, there we go.
You know, size and particularly girth is representing a greed.
Yep.
You know, that you're a glutton.
So he's doing well in life.
Yes.
Anything else we're missing there? Profits. A lot of dollar signs, a lot of cash. He's doing well.
Yeah.
Who's
On the
not
other
doing
hand,
well? Who's not doing well?
You know, we have a Native American. He is emaciated. He's very, very skinny. He does have a rifle in his hand.
He does.
You know, I wonder how he got that rifle.
Probably from quite a few of the Native American wars taking place between them and the U.S. government.
Yes, and in his hand, he has a little package, and it says on it, starvation rations. So, context. What's happening in the mid to late 1800s?
So I would, if I'm thinking of this, right, we look at the maps, and we look at it, when we start off with this unit, we're looking at the maps, and all of the United States was once inhabited by just pretty much everybody. Well, everybody was Native American.
Yeah.
All Native American territory. Trail of Tears pushes more of these Native Americans west. We start to move west. It's time for the Native Americans to move yet again.
We discover gold.
We discover gold.
We build the Transcontinental
And
Railroad.
when we're talking about profits, if we're coming back to him, who's making profits? Railroad companies, boom towns, cow towns, anybody.
Merchants who are moving out west.
Anybody who's going out west that is seeing a chance to make money is making money off of it.
Yeah.
U.S. government is as well. We have people going out there. There's a population in these territories. They can become states. And who's getting pushed off of these lands again? Native Americans.
And let's not forget, it's our God-given right to do this.
Right.
You know,
Manifest
our belief in
destiny.
manifest
Yes.
destiny. You know, so there's a lot going on. You know, don't forget, like we're over hunting the buffalo.
Yep.
Why? We want their hides. We want their heads.
And that's also
A lot of
including
money.
into that profits.
The Native Americans of the Great Plains relied on the buffalo for almost every aspect of their culture.
Mm-hmm.
It was their food, it was their clothing, it was their shelter, it was the center of their religious beliefs. So I think the fact that the Native American here is reducing in size, I think the artist here is trying to tell us that not just are they starving to death,
Right.
they're dying.
Yes.
Their way of life is disappearing. Almost like, you know, growing up, we watched the movie The Incredible Shrinking Woman.
Yep.
Lily Tomlin, you
Yes.
getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Exactly.
That's what's happening. The Native American culture is disappearing, and who's reaping the benefits? We are. You know, good.
They had to, they relied on the buffalo. Of course, we're putting them onto those reservations, land set aside, and what are we trying to force them to become? Farmers.
Yeah.
We don't want them roaming around on the plains because they're constantly coming into conflict with settlers.
Yeah, and I think the gun represents like the last straw.
Maybe.
You know, he's
Yeah.
like, you know, we're going to see, you know, in the late 1800s, a series of wars that are now known as the Indian Wars. Where the Native Americans, they're like, we've had enough. You know, you can push us so far until we're going to push back.
Yep.
And they will. And they'll have some success. You know, Little Bighorn, you know, the most famous massacre of Custer and his men. But I think this it's showing us really the impact westward expansion is having on the Native American.
And it's having a very negative impact
Yeah.
on them. All right, it changes their way of life. And of course, we've talked about how, of course, their culture is changing. The buffalo population is going to decrease. Their children are going to be put into those boarding schools
Carlisle.
to kind of help eliminate their culture altogether. But yeah, this is just a tip of the iceberg of what's really going on with the Native Americans.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like from the American perspective, you know, they were kind of systematic in this. It's like, hey, why are we going to spend the money fighting the Native Americans? Let's just take away their source of life, they're source of everything, and by almost eliminating the buffalo population went from like 30 million to like
Yeah.
200.
I mean, they were almost,
Almost extinct.
They were on the endangered
Yeah.
list for quite some time.
And it was like the Americans' way of saying, we're not going to actually fight you, but we're still going to destroy you.
All right, so we have a lot of historical context in here. We have a lot to easily break down. This is definitely mid to late 1800s, I'd probably say.
Yeah, and if we get into the artist purpose, if you want to talk about artist purpose here,
Sure.
you know, drawing attention to the plight of the Native Americans
Yep.
and how the white Americans were making buku bank.
He's a little bit more towards the foreground. He's a little bit towards the middle
Yeah.
ground, of course. What else is going moving towards the background? You know, their teepees, their way of life, and all the buffalo. All right, great.
All right.
Cool. Thanks for watching.